And the idea was that they would tax their neighbor to pay for their child's education. Well, how did they go for it? Well, because up to that time, the Lutherans had their schools, the Presbyterians, the Reformed, all had their own schools. About 1840, up until about 1840 in the United States, we were almost entirely a Protestant nation, very few Catholics. And in 1840, the Irish potato famine took place, and hundreds of thousands of Irish Catholics began to flock into the United States. And it spooked the Protestant clergy. And so Horace Mann persuaded them that they would work together to use the state-run public schools to convert Catholic children to Protestantism. Now, I'm not here to argue one denomination over another, but there were many Protestant leaders at the time that said, even though you're not a Catholic and don't agree with that theology, it's not moral for you to use the state to coerce their children to become Protestants. R.L. Dabney spoke very strongly against it, and others, but they went for it, and they were tricked by the humanist Unitarians, and we were stuck in America with that system. Now, that's the origins of state-run public education in America. But even then, if you go back to early American history, I've got a quote here from James Madison that's very interesting, as they were debating the Bill of Rights in the new Congress after the Constitution had already been ratified in 1791, and they were discussing the general welfare clause of the Bill of Rights. And he said this: if Congress would take into its hands the education of children, establishing in like manner schools throughout the Union, in short, everything from the highest object of state legislation down to the minute object of police would be thrown under the power of the Congress. In other words, he was saying they had no jurisdiction in the area of education. The Constitution did not delegate that to the government. Were the power of Congress to be established in the latitude contended for, it would subvert the very foundations and overthrow the very nature of the limited government established by the American people. This is the fourth President of the United States speaking, who was also the father of the Constitution. He's saying if we take on education in the government, particularly the federal government, it has the potential to overthrow our nation. And that's exactly what is happening. We cannot defeat the left. We cannot defeat the humanists. We cannot defeat the postmodernists or the abortionists or the homosexual activists as long as we put our children in their schools. It doesn't pass the common sense test to think otherwise, much less the theology test. Totalitarians and tyrants down through history have seen the control of youth and children as a way of maintaining control over our people and over culture. That's what we're experiencing right now in the United States. 85% of all children at the K through 12 level are in government or pagan public schools. I found this quote from an important classic, The Rise and the Fall of the Third Reich by William Shirer. And he's quoting Hitler. This is what he said about the education of children in Mein Kampf, which was his famous book and other writings. He said, when an opponent, quote Adolf Hitler, when an opponent declares, "I will not come over to your side," I calmly say, your child belongs to us already. What are you? You will pass on. Your descendants, however, now stand in the new camp. In a short time, they will know nothing else but this new community. This new Reich will give its youth to no one, but will take itself, youth, and give those youth its own education and its own upbringing. Those are the words of Adolf Hitler and his attitude toward state education. We've had a brief religious or theological case where the Bible and Christianity is very explicit on this subject. We teach that it's an issue of obedience to God, Putting your children in a pagan public school, I think, is a disobedience to the express teaching of Holy Scripture. Come by my table over here at the end of the meeting and I'll give you some material on that. Is there any hope? Let me give you a little bit of what is happening and where I think we have a chance to defeat Leviathan. You know, Leviathan was Thomas Hobbes' term for the godless state, a powerful state. And Leviathan is consuming us all. But the soft underbelly of Leviathan is education. And my goal is to take a little dagger and stick it right up in his throat, underneath, from underneath. And I think this is one place that we're winning. Homeschooling in particular is growing at the rate of about 7 to 12% a year nationally. Right now there's about 2.5 million to 3 million children in homeschooling in the United States. It's really one of the bright hopes of the future. 70% of those children come from evangelical Christian families. Most of the rest are from Catholics, even Jews and others who have a strong traditional faith of some kind and believe in a moral order. Even now some hippies and liberals are getting into home education. So it's a growing trend, and it's giving us a whole new generation of warriors, spiritual warriors. This is where we can win. I urge you to come by my booth. We have some free magazines to give out and literature. We've got a little CD called The Call to Dunkirk, which is very effective for you to give to your pastor. And I look forward to talking to you after the meeting. Thank you for this time.